The coal fields of Appalachia have always been underestimated as to the population. At one time, it was the biggest melting pot in the United States because the coal companies didn't have enough hand labor. And they would recruit miners from East Europe, West Europe, and from the South. They would bring sharecroppers up. Sharecroppers could make 300 to 700% more than they did as a sharecropper, so they had a lot of influx of immigrants and Black Americans that came to the coal camps. The coal camps usually were built from scratch by the coal company, so they owned the house and they built churches and schools and so on. So we had a different culture here, a lot of exposure to different nationalities, different cultures, almost like an egalitarian effect that it had. So libertarian, egalitarian, I guess it's a fancy way to say we got along with people from different races and different nationalities because the men in particular work side by side with them in the world's most dangerous occupation, and you don't want to be hated by or hate the person next to you because they may have to save your life within a second. So that's the foundation for how the Norton Little League team became the first integrated team in the South in 1951. The coach got 4 civic groups to sponsor 4 teams. They were the only team west of the Blue Ridge, so they won the Western Division without leaving Norton, just playing each other. He had 3 black players. Eventually it came down to 2 black players. And when they won the Western Division by default, the Charlottesville team had won the Eastern Division, so they were going to play for the finals. So when the Charlottesville coach found out that there were 2 black players, or at that time 3, he refused to play, saying it was illegal. It was illegal back then to integrate schools, but this was a private nonprofit organization, so it was the Little League. And so he said, no, we're going to play you, or you can forfeit and we'll win the state championship without ever leaving Norton. So make a long story short, the Charlottesville team came to Norton. Norton residents and people around there just assumed that Charlottesville would win, so they had 1,500 people turned out for a pre-ball game rally, a float, the whole 9 yards. And they honored the kids, including the black kids, of course, and ended up beating Charlottesville 12-3. When you think about that, what were the odds that that could happen in America against a team who was coached by racism? The kids weren't racist, but certainly the coach was. Or maybe he was just misinformed as to what the law really was in Virginia. But in any event, those kids beat them 12-3, and then went on to go to fly, probably in their first airplane ride, to West Virginia to play their state champions. They lost that one, but imagine the feeling of accomplishment when you win state championship, the first game that you played against anybody else other than the teams that were in Norton. The first integrated teams were in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. The first integrated team to win a state championship was Norton, Virginia.